Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Dubai, depending on your location. Now let me bring you up to speed with the latest development in the IPOB family. EJIOFOR refutes sack, states that the legal team is monitoring every situation around KANU. Now that is the lawyers to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazam KANU, that was sacked by KANU yesterday. Of course, KANU made a statement that he has sacked the duo of Chief Michael OZHEKOME and Barrister EJIOFOR. Yes, he states that the duo has been sacked from representing the leader of the IPOB in his defense and prosecution of his case as well. Yes, of course, Mazen Namdekan is defending the appeal court judgment that was delivered on his favor. Yes, the appeal court judgment was in the favor of Mazen Namdekan. They discharged and acquitted him. So the duo of EJIOFOR and Michael OZHEKOME, they are defending that appeal court judgment as well as prosecuting the federal government for the infamous invasion of his hometown in Afro-Kuma in an attempt to assassinate him, as well prosecute the federal government in extraordinary renditioning him after abduction and torture in Kenya back to Nigeria. So these are what the legal teams are obviously doing for Mazen Namdekan. And KANU has said in that notice that they have been sacked. Let me refresh our minds on that statement made by KANU yesterday. I quote, "I hereby formally notify at Michael OZHEKOME and EJIOFOR that their services are no longer required in Mazen Namdekan case pending before the Supreme Court of Nigeria and all concerning him." End of quote. And so in that statement, KANU said they have been relieved of their duties to represent Onyendu Mazen Namdekan in all cases that concerns him. But as it is expected, EJIOFOR swiftly responded to that, and in his own statement, he made some observations. Okay, let me quote him now. Barrister EJIOFOR, let me quote him. "In view of the desperate attempt of the enemies to break our rank, the legal team resolved to minimize the information that we make public through my regular updates. Therefore, you will not be receiving updates on our routine visits as regularly as it used to come, except when there is a compelling situation that demands it. Several visits to Onyendu, and particularly the visit of June 3rd, 2023, was not publicized because of the nature of the matters discussed, but the relevant persons were duly briefed on the outcomes. Let it be on record that neither Kingsley KANU nor Emmanuel KANU had at any point in time briefed me to handle Onyendu Mazen Namdekan's case or even IPOB's matters. My letters of engagement issued to me since 2015 by Onyendu Mazen Namdekan and IPOB are still with me till date. Neither Kingsley KANU nor anybody acting on his behalf engaged Michael OZHEKOME to represent Onyendu in any matters affecting him. Biafrans and members of the public are aware that Onyendu specifically requested to see Michael OZHEKOME upon his abduction and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. During that meeting, which details are already in the public domain, Onyendu personally briefed Michael OZHEKOME to head his legal team. Till date, Michael OZHEKOME has done creditably and overwhelmingly well in deploying his advocacy skills in representing Onyendu in all courts in Nigeria. Further to the above, my briefings with Onyendu lasted for over 1 hour, during which we discussed pertinent issues concerning his legal and health matters. There was no time during the meeting that Onyendu entertained or expressed any iota of doubt whatsoever on the ability of his indefatigable legal team, ably led by Mike OZHEKOME, to defend him. Onyendu also proceeded to avail me with other important messages to be passed on to his lead counsel, which assignments are expected to be conducted within the next 24 hours. Kingsley KANU, in a bid to preempt any exposition I may make after today's visit, proceeded to make the ridiculous publication at exactly 1:57 p.m. Nigerian time, a few minutes before the scheduled visit of 2 p.m. He needs not to have worried because, out of respect and deference to Onyendu Mazen Namdekan, I do not intend to make any such exposition. As you may be aware, right from July 26, 2021, when an order was made by Honorable Justice Binta Nyako directing the DSS to allow Onyendu access to his lawyers and relatives. Upon prior submission of the names of those visiting Onyendu, my chambers has been exclusively submitting names of those visiting Onyendu, and this process still subsists. The names are usually shared with Onyendu before clearance is given by the DSS for the visits to take place. Against the backdrop of the foregoing, I wish to unequivocally state that Onyendu Mazi Kanu never dismissed, disengaged, neither has he expressed any intention of dismissing his legal team ably led by Professor Mike OZHEKOME. Biafrans and indeed the members of the general public are respectively advised to ignore in its entirety the obviously defamatory, mischievous, fake, reprehensible, denigrating, insulting, and unauthorized public notice issued by Kingsley Kanu, alias Kanunta Kanu, as it is not true. May the general public and indeed Biafrans be properly guided that the simple reason for this dishing out such condemnable falsehood is to ridicule and embarrass Onyendu Mazi Kanu's legal team, ably led by an erudite, foremost, and distinguished senior advocate of our time, Professor Mike OZHEKOME, SAN. Kingsley Kanu should be assured that his evil strategies are dead on arrival. There is nothing whatsoever that will stop or deter Onyendu's legal team, who are tirelessly working day and night to ensure that Onyendu is released unconditionally. In conclusion, Onyendu further used the opportunity offered by my visit to thank Ezigbo Omuchineke for standing shoulder to shoulder with him, particularly all through this trying time. Onyendu assured Ezigbo Omuchineke once again that he shall surely end in praises. He urges you all to remain firm, steadfast, and unrelenting in your supplications to God. Furthermore, Onyendu implores Ezigbo Omuchineke to continue to abide by your peaceful conduct as you have consistently demonstrated. Biafrans should note and be assured that Onyendu's legal team, ably led by the legal hero of our time, Mike OZHEKOME, is monitoring every situation around Onyendu. We are not resting on our oars. Hence, there is no cause for alarm. We are thousands of steps ahead of the evil plans of the enemies. Onyendu will be out of DSS Gulag, strong and unbroken. End of quote. Now, I've just quoted the statement of Barrister EJIOFOR refuting the statement earlier made by Kingsley Kanu Kanunta, sacking him and Chief Mike OZHEKOME SAN. So he states unequivocally that he still remains in the legal team of Mazi Kanu, and Mike OZHEKOME is also leading in that regard. And so he expressed that, look, Onyendu is firmly in support of their duties and what they're doing to make sure that he's released. And he's saying, and that they are doing with utmost dedication and commitment. Yes. So he said from now henceforth, they will be very economical with dishing informations after their routine visit with Onyendu, particularly himself, Barrister EJIOFOR. He said his appointment letter is still with him, and nobody has terminated that appointment since 2015, that Mazi Kanu and IPOB family appointed him, as their lawyer. Okay? And so what are we not talking about? Now, on the issue of the medical team, which is one of the major reasons why this issue of SAC came up. Yes. EJIOFOR stated in clear terms. He said the medical doctors that wanted to see Mazi Kanu last week, Tuesday, June 6, 2023, we are not there to participate in any surgical procedure, according to him. He said they came to meet with Mazi Kanu first and interface with him. Yes, according to him, he said the doctors were expected to consult with Onyendu's lead counsel, Mike OZHEKOME, before proceeding with other administrative engagements, as they agreed during their meeting on June 3, 2023, held with the DSS in the presence of the IPOB leader. And now, this is what he said about this medical team. And so what are we not talking about? Look, we have seen that there's a lacuna. Yes, there's there's what we call there's a vacuum in terms of communications. Yes, communication gap. Better still, there's communication gap is lacking, and what we're saying is this: let this communication gap be bridged so that the IPOB family will continue to work as one family. Yes, there's no cause for alarm. We have told you that this has been resolved, and it has been resolved. So no cause for alarm at all. People should remain calm and continue to pray and